Welcome to the tutorial set Intro to Mapping using Native Flora of Louisiana data. This tutorial is part of the LDL-as-Data project, generously funded by the Collections as Data team and Mellon Foundation funds re-granted through the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. In these tutorials, I'll show you how to create a simple map using data from the Native Flora of Louisiana watercolor drawings collection. This is a collection of 235 watercolors painted by botanical artist Margaret Stones throughout the 1970s and 1980s. Mapping the plants illustrated in this collection is a way to learn or teach simple digital mapping skills using geographic data. In this video, I'll show you how to gather the necessary geographic data and talk a little bit about how this data works. The metadata for the Native Flora of Louisiana collection is particularly rich. In addition to standard descriptive information such as title and author, metadata fields in the collection include the dates and locations where the plant specimens were collected. So with this spider lily, we see at the bottom, the parish where it was collected is listed as a tab. With the included location data, we can generate latitude and longitude coordinates that we can use to create digital maps. Those specific geocodes are not included in the collection metadata, so this video will show you how you might find latitude and longitude coordinates given a more general place name, such as a parish name or a zip code. The purpose of this tutorial is to provide additional background and insight into how geocodes work and are gathered. If you would like to skip this video, the following mapping tutorials do include a link that allows you to download the complete dataset, already including geocodes. However, this video will give you a clear idea of how we developed the Native Flora dataset we will be using. So we will start by opening a spreadsheet of the Native Flora of Louisiana dataset that does not include geocodes. You will find a link to this spreadsheet in the description of this video. If your sheet is not already sorted by place collected, sort by place collected, which for me is in column J, by clicking the drop-down arrow and selecting Sort Sheet A to Z. Now let's take a look at how this data is formatted. I can see right away that some cells have two locations, such as here we have the flowers were found in Ascension Parish, and the fruit was found in Washington Parish. You see here the flowers were found in East Baton Rouge Parish, whereas the fruit was found in Livingston Parish. We can only mark one location for each specimen, so I'll choose to mark the flowers location. Some rows have no location, and these specimens simply won't have any geo data tied to them, so they won't appear on the map. So the first thing you would need to do is clean up this data a little bit by going through and standardizing these place names by removing the extra information about flowers and fruits. So let's take a look at these geocodes. This will give us an idea of the type of data we're trying to gather. This was built by hand. We grabbed each place collected from the available data, and we found a latitude and longitude point within each parish that we can then use in our mapping software. Geocodes can be found in a number of different ways, and how much your process of gathering geocodes needs to be automated depends on the data set size. If you have a large data set, maybe hundreds or thousands of locations, there are free online programs that will automatically generate a CSV or spreadsheet of latitude and longitude points, given either a specific address or a zip code. Although we only need 45 locations and could reasonably look these up individually, I will show you a way to batch generate geocodes using a program called Geocodio. To use any software to automatically retrieve geocodes, you will need to provide a zip code from each parish rather than the parish names. These programs don't know how to read or what to do with parish names. There are a number of ways to get a zip code from each parish. You could use a site like United States Zipcodes.org. Here I've already navigated to Louisiana. I could click through and download a CSV of Louisiana zip codes, and I could grab a zip code from each parish at random. I didn't love the idea of grabbing zip codes at random, so instead I used the list of county clerk offices to find a zip code in each parish. This works because there is a county clerk office in each parish, and usually only one, except for I believe Orleans Parish. And the physical addresses are readily available. And as a bonus, they're in alphabetical order, so that makes it kind of easy to go through and grab these zip codes and put them in our alphabetized list of parishes. I like this method because I just like knowing the logic behind the zip code I chose. So I went through and copied each zip code into a new spreadsheet. I did Command F or find and searched for physical. That just provides a little marker for me to be able to see where each zip code is. I would copy that zip code out of Acadia Parish, for example, go over to a new spreadsheet that lists the parishes in alphabetical order, and I just pasted in each zip code one by one. You can see here I'm using Google Sheets. I would need to download this as an XLSX file or a CSV file to my computer so that I could then upload that file into Geocodio. I have already downloaded my list of zip codes, so I am ready to go. So I will navigate to geocode.io and click Upload Spreadsheet. If you click that tile that says Drop, it will allow you to select the spreadsheet you want to upload. In my downloads, I have my zip codes by parish sheet CSV, so I will choose that. It is asking me, since my sheet has two columns, column A lists the parish name and column B lists the zip code. It's asking me which column has the appropriate geographic data, and it is column B with the zip codes. So I'm selecting column B, and then I will hit preview. I see they've geocoded a small sample. I see a lot of little dots around Louisiana. So that is, yes, looks good. Do we want to add any additional fields such as time zones? No, I do not. So I'm skipping past this. And I'm hitting start. You will have to create an account to retrieve the data set that it's going to create for you. It does not ask you for any payment information, and you get 2,500 location searches free per day, which is obviously plenty for our purposes. And when you create an account and your CSV has been processed, you will be able to access it on your dashboard under past uploads. So this method is certainly helpful if you have hundreds or thousands of locations that you need geocodes for, particularly if you already have zip codes or addresses. In this case, with only 45 locations where we don't already have a zip code, everything we just did is probably overkill. So now I'll show you a couple of ways to get geocodes one by one. For those of us who might be new to thinking about latitude and longitude and digital mapping, especially for large geographic areas such as parishes, it's worth pointing out that we are likely to see some inconsistencies in the exact latitudes and longitudes that different programs give us. So the first method I will walk through is simply using Google Maps. So navigate to google.com/maps or maps.google.com. I think it takes you to the same place. And I'm going to search the parish I'm in, which is East Baton Rouge Parish. And we're actually going to get our information from the resulting URL. Notice this URL. We see google.com maps place East Baton Rouge. After the @ sign, this number, 30.51611109, that's the latitude, comma, followed by the longitude, negative 91.22045.9, comma. This 11Z is not part of what we need. So what I could do is simply copy and paste from the URL the latitude and longitude. So I'm going to return to the sheet that does not have geocodes. And I'm going to insert a couple of blank columns to the right of my J column, which lists our places collected. Okay, I'm going to name column K latitude and column L longitude. Now I will return to my URL with my latitude here, this 30 number, and I will paste it in. I know that this is the latitude and longitude for East Baton Rouge Parish, so I'll actually move to the first instance of East Baton Rouge and paste it in there. Go back, grab longitude, make sure to get the negative sign, but not the comma, and paste it in to my longitude column. Now from here, if I grab this and drag it down to the last instance of East Baton Rouge, it will fill my latitude in very quickly, and I can do the same with my longitude point. So if I was going to use this method, I would go parish by parish. I would search for each parish on Google Maps. So next I might do Acadia Parish. I would grab the latitude and longitude out of that URL, and I would paste it in and fill it down. So I would do that 45 times for each location. Another software that allows you to find geocodes is www.latlong.net. So here we search for a place name. You can see I have done this before. And click find. Okay, it has given us a latitude and longitude point, and it's showing us a map of where that point exactly is, and I see that it is in downtown Baton Rouge. So our latitude here is 30.4433. If I go back and compare that to the latitude we retrieved from Google Maps, we see 30.5161. So that is not exactly the same. For our longitude from Google, we have negative 91.2204. And from latlong.net, we have negative 91.1874. So again, not exactly the same. Why do we have these discrepancies? For specific locations such as addresses, geocodes are quite specific. But for larger areas, such as counties, or in our case, parishes, there is often some slippage you'll notice. This can be because different applications identify the center of the parish in different locations. Another possibility is that parishes are a series of points that make a polygon and are usually represented as a polygon on a digital map. So differences can appear due to variations in rounding algorithms. So if I were completing this data set with my latitude and longitude points, I prefer the Google method. I would use that largely because all of the ads on latlong.net annoy me and make my machine run a little slowly. Okay, so that was a little bit about the way we develop the data set we're providing you from the more minimal data available on the LDL. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you a way to import these geocodes and create a digital map that will show us where each specimen in the native flora collection was found.